Hey, what's going on? This is Mike, and I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at that Sports Dope. The website is mindsofmike.com/ the Sports Dope. There you can find links to everything. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can find the iTunes link, and if you're watching on iTunes, you can find the YouTube link. But yeah, and I think next week I'm gonna be doing some other stuff too, getting it on like Stitcher and some other bullshit. But whatever. I listened to it the other week and it kind of sounded like shit. So I'm trying something new. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. Recording the video and audio separately as opposed to on the same thing and ripping. But anyway, you don't give a shit about that. All four of you. None of you care. And that's okay. That's fine. What you care about is football, and I've been fucking shit at it the last 2 weeks. This week, if we were going units, I was like down zero point 0.6 units. The only thing that saved me was a decent money line bet on Denver, which that was probably one of my better picks of the week. And, well, because it won, and a lot of the others didn't, so fuck. But anyway, let's run through last week, and we'll start with Thursday night, where I've, for the past 2 weeks, made it a habit of teasing the home team and the under has fucked me both times. The first week, the home team fucked me also. That was Green Bay and Philly. But yeah, so it did it again with me this week. Seattle actually covered their part, but there was a shit ton more scoring than I thought. I figured with all the Rams ran over the field, the week before against Tampa Bay, they'd be a little bit tired on the short week, and it would be more of a defensive struggle, and it was in Seattle, so, that whole 12th man bullshit. And but no, it was like 31-30 or something, and 56 wasn't cutting it. So that was a loss right there. The teaser in the Sunday games, that one lost also. We started out with Houston -5, teased it to +1. That one was money. They fucking won by 20 something. I should have just bet them regular also. The other teaser was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh did well, even though Mason Rudolph's head fell off. That's a shame. It sounds like he's fine, though. That's fucking good because that other guy kind of sucked, and you don't want to see anybody actually get hurt. The last one, listen, this is all my fault. This one's my bad. I had some fucking blinders on when it came to Danny Dimes, and I fucked up. That's basically what it is. They beat the shit out of two bad teams, or one, that uplift that you get when you get a new quarterback and you feel like things are all fresh and new. So that was the Tampa Bay game. And then they beat like a really bad Redskins team, and Jay Gruden was giving a fuck you to ownership by playing Haskins even though he wasn't ready because ownership wanted him, and he was like, nah, he's not ready. And so he's like, see what you fucking get, you assholes, 3 interceptions. And now he's fired. But yeah, so there was that game. And the Giants beat the shit out of them. But the Vikings are a real defense, and the Giants didn't really have a defense. So that fucked me on a pick, and that fucked me on the teaser. So again, that was me and my fucking blinders. Stuck my head in a cold bucket of water with a bunch of ice cubes. Got that out of my system. Let's see, what else did we have? We had over 49 in the Atlanta and Houston game. That thing cashed easily. I think they scored about 80 points in that one. I think more than that. Tampa Bay, oof. I thought it was going to be a little bit better than that. I was expecting a better showing. They only lost by a touchdown, but it was kind of iffy. They weren't even really super in it. Mike Evans had 0 catches. Like, that never fucking happens. And under 47, that one didn't work out either. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a defensive struggle. I thought Tampa Bay was going to be able to bottle up Kamara. And, hey, Teddy fucking Bridgewater decided, hey, maybe I'll throw it down the field. Nobody thought he could because he didn't for a while. But, hey, that's in his repertoire, I guess. Who knows? Or maybe it's just that, the Tampa Bay secondary is just that bad. That could also be the case. Or, hey, maybe double team Michael Thomas. Just a thought. especially if you know your guys can't cover one-on-one. Vernon Hargreaves is not doing that. And we come to Denver. Denver, you won that with the points. You won that with the dog. So that was a solid pull. I didn't get to watch much football this weekend. I was out of town. But I got back Monday, had the day off from work. So when I got back, I kind of watched those little mini rewinds, the 40 minutes on NFL Game Pass, because I'm a fucking loser and I have nothing else to do. And yeah, I didn't even watch this game, even though it was my best game of the weekend. I didn't watch it because it was fucking boring. It sounded boring, and the score was boring. And I just wanted to take the little bit of money so the rest of the losses didn't look that bad and just not even look at it. I don't know why. I just felt like the Chargers, for some reason, would have a letdown after beating the shit out of Miami. And they did. And Denver, still hungry. No wins. Come on. John Elway is not going to let that happen. In Miami, they're not going to care. They live in Miami. Half the people don't even give a shit about the Dolphins. So, Denver, that football shit matters to them. So, going 0 anything is just detrimental. All right. So, there's that. I haven't exhaled in about 4 minutes. But yeah. So, let's dive in now. We're going to go to this week. And we're going to start with Thursday night. And I'm doing it again. I'm taking the home team, and I'm taking the under in a teaser. Get a little action on a Thursday night. And I think this one's actually worth it. It's not just me, betting against myself from last week. It's the fact that New England just made fools out of the Redskins, and the Giants are semi on that level. Don't get it fooled that the Giants dominated the shit out of the Redskins in their own building, because the Giants could very well go into Washington and get the shit beat out of them, right? With that defense, they've got one guy, and it's Landon Collins' replacement, and then Redskins have one guy, and it's Landon Collins. So both of those, and the Giants will have a better offense, but Shepard's out this week. Ingram's already out this week. I think the New England -17 is even worth a play. I think Bill Belichick just wants to beat the NY logo anytime that he can because of those Super Bowl losses. He doesn't give a shit. Danny fucking Jones, he's going to look like Eli with the helmet on, and he won't be able to tell, and he's just going to tell his guys to fucking break his legs. Don't let him throw it to Tyree. He's just going to be yelling that on the sideline like a maniac. But yeah, give me the Pats and the under in a teaser. That's knocking it down to 11 points now and under 48. So that's what's going on there. Next up, we got Carolina at Tampa Bay starting off Sunday, 9:30 on the East Coast, 6:30 on the West Coast. God, that sucks, because I would totally get up for it because I'm a fucking degenerate. I meant to look up what the travel schedule was for this game, and I tried the other night, but it wasn't available yet. So I'm not putting anything on this game. It's too hard for me. I like Tampa Bay. I like the fact that they're getting points. I like that the Carolina quarterback has been cooling off, but the team has just been playing well. I think whoever got to London first, isn't that how these games usually work? Whoever gets to London first wins. And that's what Gruden did last week. He was like, fuck it, I'm going to fly from Indianapolis right to London. And the Bears showed up on Friday. They were still jet lagged, and they had no idea what time it was. They were trying to play the 1 o'clock game, so it was a weird 6 o'clock start. So yeah, they were all fucked up. And so whoever gets to London first, that's who I'm betting on. And that's really all you can do with these London games. Next up, we've got Seattle going to Cleveland. When the line came out, I guessed it was a 3, but it opened at a 2 for Cleveland, and then it moved to Seattle -1. People, I don't like this game at all. Seattle's kind of skeptical. I don't trust them too much out there. The Browns coming off such a devastating loss on Monday Night Football. You know that they're gonna be pissed. They beat the shit out of the Ravens. That's got to count for something. And I think in their own building, Seattle with a cross country trip, that's tough. I'm staying away from that. I don't like the total either, sitting there at 47.5. No, thank you. Could go either way. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was like 23-10 either team. Or it could be like 35-31. I have no idea. Scratch this one. Cincinnati's going to Baltimore. I thought it was going to be Baltimore minus 13.5. It opened at 8.5, went to 11.5. I think it might even be higher than that right now. I'm going to check just to make sure. I put my spreadsheet together a little bit, a little bit ago. So just want to make sure it's current and all. So yeah, 11.5 still. I still don't like it. I even though I thought it would be Baltimore by 2 touchdowns, I'm still not jumping at this because Baltimore hasn't looked super great these last couple of weeks. I know I just used them as like a measuring stick for the Browns, but they're still a quality team. But the Bengals, I don't know. You got to think they want to try at least at some point. They are fucking getting paid to be football players. So, I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Who knows? But I'm staying away from it. I don't like those giant numbers. I mean, Baltimore will probably drop like a 30 spot on them. But I could totally see just Cincinnati getting like some sort of backdoor touchdown to get within 10. And I don't want any part of that situation because it's just going to annoy me. Let's see. Next up, another game I am not throwing any wagers on. Speaking of that Monday Night Football game and the Browns before, we got the Rams. They're hosting San Francisco. If I had to pick this game, I would take San Francisco because the Rams, they seem like, I don't know, they haven't seemed like themselves lately. Gurley is getting back into it, but San Fran just looked super good the other day. And I wasn't a believer, and beating up on the Browns isn't something that's going to change my mind immensely, but it's like started to turn the ship a little bit, right? And I think they're going to get up for this game, and I think the Rams could almost, maybe not show up in their own house again. So it's certainly possible. Either way, 3.5. I don't love either side, so I'm staying away from it. Next up for no wagers, we've got Tennessee at Denver. Denver coming off the win. Tennessee coming off a brutal home loss against Buffalo. Here's the deal with Tennessee. I feel like whenever they're favored, they fucking lay an egg. But whenever they're an underdog, they win outright. I don't understand it. I don't know how Denver's going to react after winning because they haven't done it yet this year, and this is the first time. So I'm gonna stay away from this. If I had to, I'm gonna pick Tennessee because, like I said, they seem to show up when they're down. And Denver coming off a win, I don't know. I don't trust it. I haven't seen it yet this year. I don't want anything to do with it. So here we go. Let's start off with the sucker bet of the week. I have kind of 2 of them. The first one is Washington. Right, Washington's going to Miami. Washington, the Redskins, the 0-5 Redskins who just got destroyed and lost to the Giants, and they're 3.5 point favorites, and I feel like people might just auto bet anybody playing Miami because I think they're 0-5 ATS already this year. Oh no, wait, they can't be that because they had a bye week. But I don't care. They're coming off a bye week at home. It's starting to be fall in the Northeast. If you're watching this on YouTube, I have a giant robe on. I love the windows open. It's fucking like 62 degrees in my house. I love it. They're going down to Miami. They're in a similar climate to me. That's not, and it's going to be like 85 degrees. It just got cold. I just went to Dallas, Texas last weekend. It was 90 degrees. I wanted to kill myself. It was the worst feeling because I was just so like over summer in the heat, and it was finally getting chilly. Nah, I don't like this at all. It's terrible if you're gonna bet on the Redskins. No, thank you. I'm gonna talk about the teaser right now. So this is what I'm going on for the Sunday teaser. We're gonna go to Kansas City. Kansas City's hosting Houston. Houston's a Jekyll and Hyde team. Last week they were Jekyll, or whichever one of those two is the good one, or Hyde. I don't fucking know. But they were good last week, which means they're probably due for a down week. Chiefs, they were bad last week. And I know that everybody's limping around and whatnot, but they should still be able to drop 30. For some reason, I don't trust Deshaun Watson after a giant win like that and a blowout win like that. I don't trust, not him, but like the entire team as a whole. So their defense isn't that great. Even hobbling Patrick Mahomes could fucking take it in. I think the Honey Badger's got a little bit of revenge in him too. He's like the one solid defensive player that the Chiefs have. And, you know, he used to be on Houston and he was pissed they wouldn't pay him and all that whatnot, blah, blah, blah. You know, sports and business. But yeah, give me the Chiefs. Tease them up to 1.5. I love that all day. Next up on the teaser, I am going with the Cowboys. Cowboys are going to the Jets. Cowboys coming off of a devastating loss. And it's 7.5. Tease them down to 1.5, whatever you can find it at. And just throw it in there. It's going to be a piece of cake. The Cowboys are one of those teams this year, it seems like, where they're just going to beat the ever-living shit out of a bad team. But then when they face, they're like a bully. You know what I mean? Like they're going to try and bully people. Like they had tough first halves, but then they came back and figured some shit out, what worked, and then they just fucking hammered it home and beat them by like 2 or 3 touchdowns. And that's probably what's going to happen to the Jets. Sam Darnold's coming back for the first time in, you know, however long. Who knows if his spleen's going to hold up? That's everybody's big concern. Oh my God, Sam Darnold's spleen. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I wouldn't even be playing right now if I was him. How would you even know how your spleen is doing? It's like, sure, you can get an MRI, but still, like, no. Give me a little bit more time. So, no thank you. And I think I even heard when I was listening to some Sam Darnold shit that, like, Andrew Luck played with a lacerated spleen. Like, I just popped into my head now, and I didn't bother to look it up. But if that's true, he should have retired back then. God bless him. Fuck that. So that's Kansas City plus 1.5, Cowboys -1, and then we've got the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. Right, we picked them because they were going to shit the bed last week. Like, we just figured that was going to happen. Another Jekyll and Hyde situation. They've got Pittsburgh coming to town. It's either going to be Mason Rudolph with his head on backwards or some fucking kid who went to Stamford, not Stanford, Stamford as the quarterback. So the Chargers, they're going to get right against the Pittsburgh team. I think that they might have checked out. They thought they had a glimmer of hope after they beat up on the Bengals. And then, you know, the Ravens, they should have won that game, but the Ravens just, ripped it right from their fingertips. So give me the Chargers to stomp on the Steelers' hearts a little bit more. I know there's a little bit of injuries going on the other side, but Melvin Gordon's back. This is a game where he should thrive. Just smash mouth football. Just keep running it down their throats. And then when they're about to throw up from you running it down their throats, just punch them in the face with Keenan Allen. And it should be a good day. It should be a good day for the Chargers. So the teaser is looking at Kansas City plus 1.5, Cowboys -1, and the Chargers -1. All right. Next up, let's go with the single games that I'm betting on. Oh, excuse me. I just burped on the side. My bad. First one up. Look, it's gross. It's a little bit gross, but I feel like it's a money-making opportunity this week. Atlanta. They were a team that almost won the Super Bowl like 3 years ago. A lot of the same people. Their offenses, they still put up 31 something on the Texans at home. Not at home, but at the Texans' home. Now they're going to somebody else's home. It's also a dome. I'm not trying to rhyme, just happened. But anyway, they should be able to do the same, if not worse, to Arizona and their defense, right? And Arizona coming off a big win, God bless them. Cincinnati has a terrible defense. They put up 23, right? Atlanta should just be able to outscore them. And 2.5 is not enough for me. And so I am taking Atlanta minus 2.5. Let's see. Next up is Philly, right? Philly is going to Minnesota. Minnesota just beat up on the Giants. Remember last week how I said that the Chargers were kind of smelling their own farts? I feel like Minnesota might be in that situation too. I feel like they smell their own farts in their home field advantage, and sometimes they fucking lose a game to Buffalo. Right? So now we know this year they were good, but last time they still should have. Anyway, that's fucking last year. So Philly, I know they're banged up in the secondary, but I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I still don't. It doesn't matter to me. And I think Philly's front seven is significantly better than the Giants' front seven, and they should be able to get at Kirk Cousins a little bit. At the very least, they'll be able to stop Dalvin Cook, or at least, not to hope to contain him. But no, they'll be able to hold him at a pretty decent day. And I don't think Kirk Cousins has it in him to do it 2 days in a row. Right? So I just don't trust it. There it is. Bottom line. And so we're taking the Eagles. And this opened at +3. It's still at +3. A lot of the cash is actually coming in on the Eagles. So I think it's going to move soon. So you should probably jump on that. Okay. So we got Atlanta minus 2.5. Philly +3. Oof, 2 road teams. But I like them. I still like them. Now, this is it. My game of the week. Oh, no, wait. No. I got 2 other things. Oh, just one other thing, rather. All right. This is my bet of the week, though. And I love it. I love every minute of it. And it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. So when I went through my little guessing lines thing, I thought this was going to be New Orleans -3. It had all the makings of New Orleans -3. New Orleans is coming off of a win. Jacksonville's coming off of a loss. People are starting to wonder if Gardner Minshew isn't the fucking, sexy mustached, jockstrap wearing guy that everybody thought he was. He put up his numbers, but he's also putting the ball on the ground a little bit. But yeah, I saw this and I saw it was Jacksonville -1. You know what it screamed to me? It screamed it's a trap game. It's a trap game. So I went to my little handy dandy fucking website that tells me what all the tickets and the money breakdowns are. And lo and behold, 76%. And that's up from like a half hour ago. Because when I wrote this down, it was 74%. But it's 76% of the tickets have come in on New Orleans, but only 38% of the money. So there is some big money on Jacksonville, and when I see some stuff like that, I jump on it because I just think, listen, I agree with it. I thought it was New Orleans -3, and I was planning on taking the 3 if that was the case. I'm still taking Jacksonville -1. I like it. I like it a lot. In fact, it was -115 because there's so much money on the Jacksonville side. So I just paid the extra, 0.05 in juice to -120 and took the money line. But, if you find it at the -1 still, I say jump on it. But I like it. I think Minshew, he's got a wealth of receivers that he could choose from. Lattimore is going to be all over Chark because Chark had the monster day. But he's got other guys he can throw to. And New Orleans is not good against the run. So Fournette, who just fucking woke up like that. Like, remember that game like 3 weeks ago where he had like no yards, no nothing. And then at the end of the game, he broke like a 60-yard run. Like, it was like that moment. And then he had like the 200-yard game. And then, like, he has been phenomenal these last couple of weeks. And I think that he can do it again. I think they're at home. I don't trust Teddy Bridgewater against that pass rush. I think they're going to be in his face all day. I would like to see Jalen Ramsey back, that motherfucker. But I still like him. And, Jalen Ramsey, he said this was about winning. And fuck him. Like, they're winning. They might have done better with him. The couple of losses they had. Fuck you. Get back to it. No, there's no way he hears this. I don't even think anybody else is listening this long. But anyway, I love the Jaguars. I love them to death this week. Last up, I think we got one game left, and that is the Monday night game. We have Detroit at Green Bay. I thought this line was going to open at Green Bay -2.5, and it was Green Bay -6. 6. The last time we saw the Lions, they were taking the Chiefs to the wire. And before that, they hadn't lost a game. And they had a bye week. And Green Bay, they're not really a smelling their own farts team, but they got a little smelling their own farts in them. I don't know. I think maybe the new coach letting it loose a little bit, a little loose butthole out there. Boom. Fart seeps out. Smelling their own farts a little bit. I think Green Bay is susceptible. Philly proved it the other night. They went down, beat the shit out of Dallas. They out there on the podium laughing and joking. Loose butthole, smelling their farts. I think Detroit is an absolute live dog on Monday night. Line went from 6 to like 4.5. I think it's at, let me see. Let me just double check. I don't want to talk out of my ass, though, otherwise I'll be smelling my own farts. It's still at 4.5 right now. But there's the juice is on the Lions side. So they're still liking the Lions. So, look, I think the 4.5 is still worth it. If you're looking for some action on a Monday night, I might even suggest a solo night, Monday night teaser. This one I actually like. I'll take the road team in the over. We'll go the other way on this one. I can pop that out there. But I already have money on Detroit as the dog, too. Another dog I like is Philly. So Philly I said I like Philly in the points. If you throw a parlay together with the Lions and Philly money line, 5-1. Not bad. Throw like a third of a unit on there. Not bad. Half a unit maybe if you're interested. I did. I threw a little piece, half a unit. But yeah. So let's recap some of these, some of the bets that we talked about. The lock of the week is Jacksonville. I'm leaning towards Atlanta and Philly. I didn't really like any of the totals this week and no numbers this week. Sucker bet is Washington, but I am not betting on Miami. Don't put your hard-earned money on Miami. I'm just saying, don't fucking think that that Washington could beat Miami. Don't just assume that, because it's a possibility it's not. Dogs, I like the Lions and Philly. Right? I got Philly at the points, but I also like them to win outright. Throw that together in a parlay, 5-1. Not bad, I did it. Thursday night teaser, we're taking New England down to 10.5, 11, whatever you're at, and under 48. Home team and the under Hasn't worked for 2 weeks in a row, but I swear to God, it's going to work. It's going to go on a streak here in next couple of weeks. These couple of weeks going to be a nice streak for Thursday night games. Home team in the under. We're just going to do it blind. All right, that's going to be my move. Then the teaser of the week: Kansas City plus 1.5, Cowboys -1, Chargers -1. There it is. There's your Thursday, Sunday, Monday, and that's what we got. All right, thank you everybody for listening. I appreciate it, all 5 or 6 of you. Let's go Washington. Let's score a couple runs here. I want them to beat the Dodgers. It would be dope if they scored 4 runs even, 1-4-3. Hit the under also, because the baseball bet isn't looking good tonight. I was watching that on the side. Anyway, all right. Peace out. Thank you. Mike. Oh, yeah. The Sports Dope. That's me. At that Sports Dope on Twitter and Instagram. mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope. That's where you can find the YouTube link or the iTunes link or vice versa. Gonna get it on some more platforms here soon. I'm also going to be doing some NBA stuff here, and eventually I'm going to go through some team totals, probably like an Eastern and Western Conference type of thing, one podcast. But, all right, that's it for real now. Peace out.